And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. I'm Callum, that's Kyle. Kyle, how are we doing today?
Do you know what? I completely forgot it was Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just didn't know what day I was on. I just woke up, had some food, and I was just having like a good old gaming sesh. Not had one of them in a while, so I thought I'd spend my day very wisely, doing nothing practical except gaming.
Not wrong with that.
So I've missed out on quite a few bits.
Nothing wrong with that at all, Kyle.
I know.
You definitely have been gaming all day because you didn't even know there was a trailer for Penguin until I put this on. So,
Well, yeah. I know because I was just saying there's a couple of trailers for something else. I swear it was something else.
there's a monkey man.
Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, but I have no interest in that, to be completely honest. So
No, I went the first time I saw Beetlejuice. I saw it with my
never
little
seen
cousin. Yeah, took my little cousin to the cinema to see it because it was on for 30th anniversary last year. She wasn't enjoying it.
wasn't enjoying
Yeah,
it.
she was asking to leave halfway through.
And did you leave?
No, because I wanted to go see Mario, and she said, "No, we'll go see Beetlejuice." So I made her sit there and watch it to be like, "You got to live with your decisions. You 7-year-old."
What? You
Alright.
fucking horrible cunt.
So yeah. Anyway, the Penguin. What do you think of the trailer?
Look, I'll say this. Nothing in the trailer really impressed me or, made me go, oh, this looks phenomenal or anything like that. It looks really, really great. I'm not saying, it's bad or any form like that. I'm not even saying it's good. I'm saying it is great. I just think it's like, oh, I just want to sit down and watch this now.
Yeah, it's kind of showed you what you was expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can get behind that.
we've seen Penguin obviously in the Batman film, and we got like a good bit of him in the film.
Well,
And
yeah.
so it's nothing. It's not like we're seeing anything new here, to be honest.
Well, that's it. Before the Batman came out, the Penguin show was announced, and at first it's like, do we really need that? Walking out of the Batman, it's like, oh my fucking god, absolutely! I cannot wait for this Penguin show because Colin Farrell great in it, fantastic in the role. I'm excited for him to be able to just get in there more now and explore this character a bit more. Have you seen the video when he first gets in the makeup for the Penguin?
I think I saw it a while ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know I saw something where one of the people behind the scenes actually
There's
were
videoing
like,
him.
who the fuck were you? Who the fuck are you? And it's like, I'm Colin Farrell. I'm the Penguin, or something like that. I don't know.
There's a video when he first gets put in the makeup for the first time ever.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
And the
I think I've
character
seen it a
just
long time
starts
ago.
there. And it's like, oh my god, this is great.
Yeah.
A lot of this trailer seems to be about legacy. It's like, look, I want to be remembered in a certain way because he's talking about the old school gangster from when he were younger. And they had a parade for him and everything. And I wonder what he's going to do in this to cement his legacy. Because this is a Penguin show. I don't see, the Penguin show setting up the Penguin to lose.
It's interesting in the trailer though. I don't know if it's like if they mean it or if it's just a tactic to say, look, this is very important. Watch this, in with the Batman film because it says it's the next chapter.
It 100%
Which,
is.
Yeah, I guess it could be. Yeah, I mean, you kind of think that Batman Part 2 would be the next chapter, so they're going like a different route. But I really hope that it is the next chapter and they're not just saying it in to help sell the show.
Yeah, no. Obviously,
yeah,
it came out last week that the Batman Part 2 has been pushed to 2026. We thought this was going to happen anyway because Matt Reeves hadn't written. He's written it now. apparently. But, yeah. Push to 2026. That's fine by me. This being the nice chapter in the middle of that, I don't mind either. What do you think of this, then? The Batman comes out. You know, we've had it. Penguin has a minor role in it. And then gets a series. And then is the main villain in the Batman Part 2. And then someone who has a minor role in the Batman Part 2, villain, gets a series after, and then becomes the main villain in the Batman Part 3.
I think that's a cool idea. It definitely would help set it up, but it's a bit of repetition for the third film. And they've already kind of teased the Joker, but in a way,
I don't want him in Part 2.
In a way, I feel like they just showed us Joker because it's like, it's a Batman film, just to have Joker there kind of thing. So
I kind of want Penguin to be this almost more of a background character than what Cillian Murphy was in all three of the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah. He was there in all of them. I kind of want Penguin to just be lurking in the background. Have a somewhat semi-legitimate business going on, and Batman, knocks down his door every now and then. He's like, I need information, Cobblepot. And he's like, you fucking bastard.
Yeah, I feel like the Penguin's definitely going to be a character that sticks around and is going to be a good source of info for Batman because, it makes sense. Obviously, Batman can't put the Penguin away, especially because he's a good source of getting intel and stuff like that. So it makes a lot of sense. But I get what you're saying about Cillian Murphy's, obviously, his character in the Dark Knight films. His character felt more of like he's still around.
Yeah.
That's it. Which, fine. I'm fine with that because you had these other villains that were taking center stage. But I feel like with Penguin, he's going to have a much bigger role than just a background character kind of thing.
Yeah, so
like you did in the first film.
I want him to just have a presence throughout the whole trilogy.
Yeah, he's going to have that's what I'm saying. He's going to have a bigger presence than Cillian Murphy's Scarecrow easily.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, I thought it was great. It's coming this fall as well, so didn't get delayed that much by the strikes. I think it was supposed to come out in the summer of this year. Now it's coming out back end of the year. That's fine. We've got enough TV coming out in summer. We've got The Boys, House of the Dragon. Did you watch both of them trailers yesterday?
I didn't watch The Boys because I didn't even know it was.
No, what I mean, there was 2 trailers for House of the Dragon.
Oh, yeah, I'm not watching any of it.
There's the green and the black.
Yeah, I seen the posters. They look pretty groovy, but again, I'm avoiding trailers for that because I just want to go in blind. I know a lot of people know what happens within this show because of the book.
Yeah, I ruined this show for myself. Before I knew it was coming out.
Yeah, you can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known. I mean, you did kind of fucking ruin yourself for doing though. I mean, it's your fault, but yeah, I just want to go into this blind, kind of like how I'm doing Dune. I think when Dune Part 3, obviously when we talk about that, I won't be watching.
Nice comedy. That's a call forward.
Yeah, I won't be watching any trailer for it because I just want to go in blind. Unless the trailer doesn't, it just shows things and it doesn't give anything off. That's when I
think you'd be safe to watch the first trailer because look at the first trailer for Part 2. It would just
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like I said, there's a lot. I just want to go into a film completely blind for once. I've never done that, so I think Dune Part 3 could be that film. But yeah.
Anyway, scale of anticipation for the Penguin from 1 to 10. How excited are you?
An 8.
It's a nice, respectable number. An 8. I'm also about an 8. But anyway, let's get to the meat and potatoes. Invincible, Season 2, Part 2, Episode 6. Or is it episode 2 of part 2? Or is it episode 6 of season 2?
Yeah, they did this because of the ads. That's why they split it into 2 parts. That's what I believe, anyways.
Why, you get ads?
I get ads, yeah.
Did you not upgrade it when it either?
I didn't even know. I barely use Amazon, so it just happened.
Okay. Sweet. Anyway, what did you think of last week's and this week's episode?
Last week's was a really solid episode. For me, it was like I'm gonna say it was in like a nice 9.5.
Yeah, I love last week's episode.
Last week's was great. This week, it pumps the brakes a bit too much for my liking. It just kind of, like, some of the conversations they have just feel a bit flat. I get they're trying to, emphasize some drama that's going on. I understand that, but just the way it came about, it just felt a little bit awkward at times, especially with, the whole Eve and
Amber.
obviously Mark and Amber as well, yeah. So just their little conversations that they had just felt a little bit weak in the sense of like, right, we get what you're trying to convey here, now perform it, because it just feels very like, it felt like NPCs talking to each other in a game.
To me, it feels like they're trying to just get this relationship over now.
I get that, but I feel like they could have just left Eve out of it. I mean, if that's how it goes in the comics, fair enough, but there is times when you can change and improve things from the source material.
Which Amber has so much more character in this than she does in the comics.
Yeah, so I would have much preferred if this episode focused on Mark and Amber's relationship kind of crumbling apart.
Well, it kind of did, though.
No, it did, but it felt like, I'm going to shoehorn Eve in there, kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like.
I liked what they did with it. Obviously, I liked them wrapping up the Sequid stuff from last week.
Well, did they?
Well, did they? But kind of continuing that cliffhanger, I thought that were great. The whole fight in there and Mark standing up to the Immortal. It just when he goes to get that thing and he just pushes him to the side, he goes, "No, I'm stronger than you. I'm faster than you. I'm doing it." And he's like, "Right, or yeah, no, yeah." So I thought that bit was great. And then once they lock all the Sequids in that room and they're running and all the Martians stop them and they go to Shapesmith, he needs to stay for punishment. Mark's like, "What type of punishment?" He's like, and they go, "Death," and he goes, "I understand." And then the next cut, still flying out of the ship, he's like, "Go, go, go, go!"
Yeah, like I said, I still think this episode was good. I had fun with it, but just that kind of set a bit of a...
I think it wanted to start as fast-paced and then kind of just wind down throughout it. The Rex stuff as well.
It kind of came to a very big halt, to be honest.
The Rex stuff as well. I thought that was great. Rex is a badass.
He is, but I mean, he did get shot in the fucking head. So, I mean, I kind of was a little bit confused as to the whole segment of that. I was like, oh my god, they've actually lost, but Rex somehow managed to survive.
Rex reminds me of one of them comic book characters like Hawkeye. Hawkeye's basically got no powers. In some comic runs, Hawkeye might be a mutant. We don't know. But Hawkeye's just this guy. And I'm pretty sure there's like a comic panel where he just gets absolutely fucking riddled with fucking bullets and survives it. Kind of take Rex like in that sort of regard. And you look at where he got shot in the head and it's like, alright, maybe he's super powered, because he has got powers. Maybe his super poweredness helped him with that. But when he's just punching the guy with his stump and caving his head in. And Ray survived. Shrinking Ray survived as well, which was I thought she were dead.
Yeah, I was a bit confused. Like it was very gut wrenching in last week's episode when
Yeah.
it seemed like she had been killed from being eaten. So it's cool to see that she actually survived. We
Yeah.
got to see the actual outcome of that, so that's good. But yeah, duplicate or whatever.
Duplicate, yeah.
Duplicate, yeah, she's gone. Um, you know,
Yep. Poor duplicate.
Lin- yeah,
The
Lincoln ain't taking that lightly.
the immortal.
Yeah,
One character who you thought would probably be around a bit longer because they can make copies of themselves. Who just literally got to that last copy of.
yeah,
And I think the immortal kind of connects with her because she knows, like him, what it's like to die over and over and over again.
yeah.
So that's probably where that connection comes from. Which gets him so pissed off at the end when he flies up to meet Alan the alien.
Yeah.
That Alan stuff were great. And he's saying, what about the telepathic communication thing? And
Yeah.
Mark tries speaking to Invincible. He goes, no, it's got to go through me to him. He says they're working on a patch for that, though.
Yeah, no, Alan the Alien were great. Everything that happened, everything else was great. I mean, that being said, I really liked the conversation where it bounced between the two conversations between Mark and Amber.
Yeah.
I like that.
I thought
just
Mark
think-
Hamill were great in that scene as well as Art
Yeah.
Rosenbaum.
Yeah, but we've got some interesting stuff with the books that he's written, that Nolan's
Yeah.
written. So I like that. I do really like that idea. It fit really, really well. Kind of curious though as to like why would he? I mean, I guess he would have written them as just stories, but he wouldn't have written them as like oh no, this is like a contingency plan kind of thing. So that's why I kind of like it. And I'm fine with it, but it was cool to see that these comics came to life, and I like the idea of Omni-Man went to this planet and the gravity was just so strong that he couldn't even fly, and these creatures were so strong because of being evolved in that gravity. I thought that was really cool.
Well, no, I think they can fly. I think that was just from that story's perspective. I think they can still fly on that planet against Ragnar's. I think he was just telling it, from like a different sci-fi perspective.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not invincible, so
No.
they can be killed, obviously. So I don't know. Maybe I like to think that the gravity was like holding back their flight. I can imagine the flight has something to do with gravity.
Well, you got to think he wasn't looking at flashbacks, was he? He was reading from the perspective of the books, and in them books, he wasn't a Viltrumite.
Yeah, I know. I
Like
get that, but
yeah.
I get that, but it's still like I mean he landed into the ground and like his feet kind of crushed into the rock. So I mean, it doesn't really matter.
No, it's cool little back.
I think it's I think it's showing the perspective as him, but you can also think that as well, which both ideas are fine. But yeah, next week's episode, I'm quite intrigued because it brings back that
Angstrom
really,
Livy.
Yeah, that really gross brain head thing kind of still freaks me out. But really interested to see what his character is going to do next.
Yeah, and we're getting closer and closer to that black and blue suit on the title screen.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
I don't know what that means.
Well, he just wears a black and blue without the yellow. So that's what the next title screen's going to be. When it's coming on now and the bits are falling off. So
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Can't wait. I think next week's episode is going to be great, and I think it's going to leave us on a big fucking cliffhanger. And I do believe the season finale is going to leave us on a big cliffhanger as well.
Yeah, probably. But it needs to hurry up and come out. That's all I'll say.
What would you do if they just pulled a mad one and season 3 came out at the end of the year?
I'd be so happy. I don't know. Yeah.
Because they've been working on it.
Yeah.
You got to think
That's
back,
it.
when Invincible season 1 came out, they hadn't even started working on season 2. It wasn't even greenlit by the time it was finished. So, yeah, there was a lot of things that needed to get into place. Anyway, Dune Part 3. It might not happen. Denis Villeneuve has said, I keep burping a lot this episode. Denis Villeneuve has said, if I ever do Dune 3, it will be because it's going to be better than Part 2. Otherwise, I don't do it. If there is a man out there who is capable of making a film better than Dune Part 2, it would be Denis Villeneuve. And it's great to try and strive to make a better film than Dune Part 2. But come on, don't set your bar that high, mate, because we might not get Dune Part 3. Because Part 2 is that good.
I think we're going to get it. I think a lot of this stuff as well, you got to bear in mind, it's marketing. Because all this says to me in this, what he said there is like, Dune is fucking amazing. So when people read that, like, oh my god, like it must be really good. And it's doing well at the box office, obviously. Critically, it's doing extremely well. So, I think that we're getting Dune Part 3. I just think this is just a marketing thing. I won't be worried.
I think he's going to take that break he was on about and do something else.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see what he would do next because, he's been doing a lot of, reviving almost, vintage and, older projects in a sense, like he did, Blade Runner. And he's done Dune, obviously. What was another thing he did?
Your mum.
So yeah, I'm interested to see what he would do next. I'm pretty sure it would be sci-fi. I'd really like to see him do an original film because I really liked Arrival.
Yeah.
It was a very original film that I believe it is still based on a book, but just something about it. It's very obscure and different. Not to say that any of the other projects he's done or any of the, what the source material is based off of. It's just, Arrival just felt so fresh and so new, compared to all these other projects. So,
Enemy, Prisoners. I forget that this is the man who made Prisoners sometimes, who did the Dune film.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it? Because he's great at sci-fi.
Yeah, I think he'll probably stay in the sci-fi realm now as well. But let's just say, in a world where Denis Villeneuve doesn't make Dune 3, we'd be extremely blue-balled by that. Do you think Warner Brothers and Legendary go find another director to finish it off?
Yeah.
Right. You got any ideas who you could think?
Jonah Hill.
Chad Stahelski of John Wick fame.
Oh, I don't know. If I had to put money on it, I probably won't put money on it actually. If I had to just sort of throw out there an idea of who would take the reins of the next part of this.
So, yeah, there's more of like a who would and who would you like.
Yeah. I'm kind of, right, I'm going to say this, but I'm 50-50 about it just because of the projects they've done outside of adapting things. The Russo brothers. Now, the Russo brothers have shown that they can adapt and, do the Marvel movies really, really well. But it seems like when it comes to their more original titles that they've been involved with, it doesn't go that well, which is quite sad to see. So I think, it would be a massive risk, but, it's the Russo brothers and they're doing what they do best, and that's adapting. You know, it's like you look at Benioff, you know, the guys who adapted the Game of Thrones from the books into the show that we all know and love, except the ending. Um, Even then, you know, there's still stuff in Game of Thrones that we really liked, the original stuff, like, you know, Battle of the Bastards. Yes, I'm with you on the sense of the final season was just dog shit. It was terrible. Um, but when it comes to these guys that can adapt things and do it really, really well, you know, it makes sense for, you know, Dune 3. I'm not going to call it Part 3, I'm just going to call it Dune Messiah now. Because that's probably what it will be.
Yeah.
But Dune Messiah will be in good hands if it was with the Russo brothers. Only thing I'd say is, like, if they were still on a really good streak, I'd be more confident with it. But because their streak kind of just went after Endgame, I'm a little bit hesitant. But if they go all in and they're dedicated to it and they spend, you know, a good couple of years getting this movie made, I'd probably say the Russo brothers.
Do you know who I want? And very, very unlikely. Christopher Nolan.
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's...
I don't know. I feel like Christopher Nolan would change a lot of stuff.
That's one person who I really feel like could bring I don't want to say a similar visual style because they've got very different visual styles, but bring a visual style that is the same level of Denise to the film. Obviously, there's more to it than that as well. There's storytelling, which you'd probably jump in there with his brother, Jonathan Nolan, and probably who's doing the Fallout show, by the way. But Christopher Nolan, I think that'd be a great option. As to who they would get,
I'd say no on that. I'd say no on that, to be honest, because it would then, you know, well, right. Dune Messiah is going to be. It's the third film, but it's not.
It's the second book.
It's not part 3. So that's the way you've got to look at it. So in that sense, okay, I see Nolan doing it pretty good. Only thing is with Nolan is just it would change. Like, I feel like his visual style would very much change the entire film.
Yeah. Which
I don't want to happen because not to say that he won't do a good job of it. He will. It's just it will.
Denis' style is so good.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It won't be consistent.
Yeah, wouldn't be consistent. And you know, one thing I've got to say as well is, he says it's got to be better than part 2. I haven't read the books. I know bits here and there. I'm not spoiling it, by the way, Kyle. Dune Messiah, from what I've heard, there's quite a big handful of Dune fans who don't like Messiah because of, you know, stuff it does. So are they going to change Messiah? But we know he likes to be very faithful to what Frank Herbert's vision was. You know, he explains that. He's explained that the whole press tour for Dune Part 2. So, is he already fighting an uphill battle with this source material?
Well, this is the thing. Denis Villeneuve is in a really great spot for it because he has done. Obviously, is Prisoners an original film or is it based off something?
I think someone else wrote that for him. Right. I think he just directed. I'll have a look now while you're.
Yeah, just because if he was to do it, I feel like he would just take things, kind of like how The Last of Us took things and extended it and improved it. I feel like he could do that with Messiah. Obviously, the core story of what happens in Messiah still has to really happen because it's kind of what he's working with. But I feel like
it's definitely what he's working towards.
Yeah, with his, you know, the way his mind works and his imagination, I think he could do a really good job of it and leave us very satisfied. It's very mixed satisfied. I mean, if you don't like it because it's, you know, because of what happens in the the movie, and this goes for like a lot of things. If you don't like what happens, but that's kind of the route they're taking, it's very obvious.
Yeah. And you're not
Then
supposed to like what happens. That's
yeah, that's the whole point of it. That's why they do it. Unless don't like it, I'd be more understandable if the film turns out to be really bad.
yeah.
Which
Or like, they're just taking a completely different direction, and Stilgar,
yeah, yeah,
and Gurney and Paul go blow up the Death Star or something.
yeah. If they take a massive U-turn, then yeah. But if this is what they're leading up to, and that's what it feels like, I'm fine with it. It might make me hate certain characters, or I might not. I'm not going to say I hate the film, but it's like I hate what they've done, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it's just what it is.
And the seeds have been there since the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Dune 3, if I had to say the chances of it happening with Denis Villeneuve are, like, I'd say it's a 99% chance that Dune Part 3 happens, or Dune Messiah happens with Denis Villeneuve attached, writing, directing, all that glorious stuff with the original cast. And I'm saying we will get that November 14th, 2026.
It's a very specific date.
No, yeah. That's when we're getting it. No, that's a bit too soon, actually. We're in 2024. I forgot. November 15th, 2027. That is when we will get Dune Messiah. Come back to this video and tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, next topic, Kyle. Anthony Mackie. He wanted a season 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. He said he was really upset that he didn't get to do it. He said because, he loves hanging out with Sebastian Stan and Daniel Bruhl, and he said them three on set together, they're electric. Now, he got a film. They're reshooting it this summer. But do you think maybe they should have just stuck with the show aspect and done a season 2 of what would then have been Captain America and the Winter Soldier? Or do you think, we haven't seen it yet, or do you think the movie's the right way to go and splitting these two up in different projects?
I don't know. I really don't know what to say about this, to be honest. It's a weird one because I enjoyed Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought it was an alright show. I know they changed a lot of the stuff
because of COVID and
because of obviously the COVID pandemic. I'd rather just have a film, man. Like, I don't like Disney Plus shows that much. I'm not a massive fan. I just don't. It's not a case of like critically. It's just it doesn't feel satisfying to watch them week by week. If I watched them as a whole, throughout,
yeah,
I feel like that might help improve it a little bit. But it's just the way Disney Plus shows do things. It's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, and the structure of their episodes so weirdly, like you can have like Moon Knight's a great example. You have like episode 4 of Moon Knight, which is just like a weird short little adventure, and then the next episode's this big fucking emotional thing, episode 5.
Yeah, it just feels like it dices up. It honestly, it feels
well, and that's why they're looking at what they're doing now. They're not saying, they're not setting this certain mandate of needs to be 6 episodes and they all need to come in at about this runtime.
And the villain needs to be kept a secret throughout the entire fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm fine with it not getting a season 2. I think if this was done earlier in Marvel, I think it would probably be a little bit better because it wouldn't be the Disney Plus type of show. I feel like the people behind it would really want to be making it, not just making it for the sake of making it and, getting loads of Disney Plus shows out there.
Well, you know when this idea came about, don't you?
What?
You see the video of Kevin Feige when
I've
they're all
seen
at
it,
press
yeah.
tour. The road trip.
When are we gonna get like the road trip show for
Bucky
Falcon and Winter
Sam.
Yeah, Bucky and Sam, and
he just goes,
that's not a bad idea.
it's like, yeah.
And then it cuts to Falcon and Winter Soldier titles.
And yeah, it does look fun. Like, they had fun making this as well. Obviously, you showed me the video behind the scenes where they're throwing themselves out of that plane onto the...
Yeah, Sebastian Stan jumps into that crash mat. That was great. But again, I feel like this show's far too late.
Yeah.
And I get what it was setting up of being, Falcon being Captain America, but I feel like that should have happened in a film.
It already happened.
What do you mean?
He got made Captain America in Endgame.
Well, yeah, but it's
like
he didn't get the suit and didn't, because he was kind of like struggling with the shield in the show, and I was just like, I don't get it. I mean, again, I feel like if this show came out around Civil War time, it would have been nice to see them do some sort of like espionage missions together. It would have been a lot more inwoven with it, and they wouldn't have that annoying thing of, oh, we have to fit the Captain America story in there somehow. It's like, no, it's just about Falcon and the Winter Soldier kind of together.
Yeah. And, I feel like I find myself saying this all the time now. I am very happy that Sam is Captain America. I like that choice. I can't wait to see how much further they go with it. I like what we've seen of him as Captain America. I think he's a better choice than Bucky for Captain America. Now, we don't need a second season of Falcon and Winter Soldier. It kind of came in, did what it had to do. I'm a bit more biased to enjoying it a little bit more. The final episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier came out on like the perfect day. Do you remember? It was my birthday. We were both sitting there, watching it. This is the legacy to my favourite MCU character. So that's why I enjoy it a bit more.
Yeah, but saying that, it's really sad that because of the character is so big and loved and stuff like that, the fact that the project that is about this character's legacy is a fucking show.
Yeah.
And not a very great one at that. I'm not shitting on it. I'm like I said, I enjoyed it. If there's any one of these shows to go back and watch, I'd go watch this again. I really would. And I really, had fun with it.
And I think the problem with the Disney Plus thing is like episodes overall. Like by the time you get to the end, you don't really feel complete. Let's say.
Yeah.
Whereas you watch an episode of House of the Dragon, episode of Last of Us. That's like enough to carry you over to the next week, if you know what I mean. When you finish an episode of a Disney Plus show, it's like, just give me some more. Just needed a little bit more on that. But then again, it's got great episodes as well. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like that episode 4 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, fantastic. Episode 5 of Falcon and Winter Soldier, fantastic. The first one as well, I thought that were pretty great.
I think it's got probably better moments than it does episodes, if that makes sense.
All right.
Just because episodes as a whole, there's nothing really standing out for me. It's not like you go back to say like Daredevil. It's like certain episodes that stand out. With the
what Daredevil has going for it is every episode stand out, so the whole show stands out as a whole.
Yeah. But I feel like it's just moments that happen in that. And like you say, it's 6 episodes? That's typically what a Marvel Disney Plus show is. And it's like, it's basically just a fucking movie being chopped up.
Yeah.
You could re-edit this. You could go back and go to these Disney Plus shows and re-edit this, because it's not the case of, polishing a turd, so to speak. Because there is some really good stuff in there. It just needs to be cut better. And so it's more streamlined to watch as a whole package rather than diced up into 6 episodes, which doesn't feel good to watch. and wait and be eager to watch the next one. Like you say, I don't feel satisfied with most of the episodes because it's just like, fucking, why are the credits here?
Yeah, 11 minutes of credits.
Yeah,
but no. So yeah,
but yeah. It's, again, like I said, it's not like polishing a turd. You could probably go and re-edit these, and they'd be probably a bit better and paced a bit better, but they're not. So
yeah, no. And like I said, this is coming from the world's biggest Captain America fan. We don't need season 2.
yeah, we got a film.
We got a film on the way.
Yeah,
Which they're reworking. So hopefully it's good. But anyway, that will do us for today. Let us know what you thought of today's episode. Jump in the comments. What do you think of the Penguin trailer? What are you thinking so far of Invincible Season 2? Do you think Denis Villeneuve will do Dune Messiah, or Dune Part 3, or Dune 3? He's probably going to do it. And Falcon and Winter Soldier, are you glad they didn't do it Season 2? I'm kind of glad they didn't do Season 2. One and done. Tell this little story that you could have told in a film. But yeah. Anyway, Kyle, anything you want to add before we go?
no.
Why not?
We're gonna see Frozen Empire on Sunday, so we might do a quick little out of the theatre reaction.
Yeah,
see
definitely.
What we think. Yeah, just a little one.
A Roadhouse review coming tomorrow. Yeah. I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it either.
But it's got a Conor McGregor in it.
Oh.
Yes. Mystique Mac. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, share, show us to your mother, all that good stuff, and we will see you guys in the next video, or the previous video. You might have watched this and go back and watch another one. We'll see you guys in the previous video.